Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Anime Reborn. In this video, I want to talk about some really important announcements that came out after this recent update dropped on April 27th. Basically, the team that was developing Anime Reborn, DIB is what they go by, ever since they took over Anime Reborn, the game has basically taken a complete nosedive. I think we can all agree that this game definitely went in a noticeably wrong direction, and I think the owners, Moz King and RLXVII, simply had enough. And in the announcement, if you head over to the Anime Reborn Discord channel or server, you'll see in the announcement channel that there's a few recent posts from Moz King and RLXVII, and they're basically just giving the whole community and player-based transparency on the situation and what had happened. And this is actually something that I really respect from them and something that I miss, because when Anime Reborn first came out, there was a lot of communication and transparency. If updates were delayed, they were transparent about it. They told the community what was going on, and I think that's the most important thing, is just being transparent, being honest with your community. You're not going to please everybody, but it's better than nothing, right? And so it is going to be a few posts, and I know they're wall of text, and I know you guys hate that shit. So much yapping, right? But I'm going to do you the favor. I'm going to read these posts out to you, so you don't have to read them. You just got to listen. Sorry, my throat's kind of a bit scratchy right now, but I'll try to get through this the best I can. So I'm going to start back at Moz King's post on April 27th. He basically pinged everyone saying, sorry for the yap. God damn, he's starting to sound like me. Sorry for the yap, but this needs to be addressed. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's going on right now. Basically, this update was supposed to be our redemption update, to make up for all the poor updates that dropped recently. As much as I hate pointing fingers, the truth is this update and the last few were handled by DIB Studios. Okay, so that's the development team's name, or official development name, DIB Studios. God forbid the next team that decides to hire them. These guys aren't bad people, and I believe that, but they seriously lack the patience to properly polish things and add the stuff the game actually needs. Stuff we brought up to them countless times. So, before I continue reading, I do want to touch on that. Being a grown-ass man and working several jobs myself over many years, I can agree with that sentiment. Your coworkers aren't necessarily bad people, but some people just have really shit work ethics, and some people are just really incompetent. You might not hate or dislike the person. You might actually love them as a person and get along with them great. But when it comes to work and who a person is as like a friend or someone you hang out with can be completely different. So I totally get their sentiment there. I don't think they're probably bad people either, but when it comes to just, being competent and using their brains and their skill sets, they just weren't it. Okay, moving on. They would always agree and promise to fix it, or just say it's added or it's fixed, just not published, during testing phase. But when the updates dropped, half the stuff was missing. Then they'd reassure us it would be in the next update, until it just got swept under the rug. At the end of the day, everything we pushed for was ignored, and the little stuff they did felt super rushed, unpolished, and half-assed. That, I think we can all agree on. We gave them more chances based on the reassurances they kept giving us, but this update was the final straw, and I would agree. We sat down with them and told them exactly what we needed to move forward based on all of our suggestions from the last Discord stage event. Again, they agreed and reassured us most of it would be in the redemption update. We even told them to take 2 weeks instead of trying to cram it into 1 week. Fast forward to now, and they're making polls asking if we should add the DBZ map for the DBZ update. Facepalm. Like, seriously, majority we talked about was ignored. Yeah, so... And I think I agree with that. Like, it's just stupid questions to obvious answers, right? Like, it reminds me of when the community manager, Masarog, would, in the announcements, ask the community, should I add keys to the code? Like, who's gonna say no to free stuff? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. So, the last straw was that they put the game into maintenance without even telling us. Even after testers and us warn them about bugs, they still pushed out a broken update without our knowledge. And once again, the little bit they did add was buggy, broken, and rushed. We've had enough. DIB Studios has been permanently kicked from the game, and from now on, we're taking over the updates ourselves. We are planning a huge overhaul update, proper optimized lobby rework, real polish, the works. It might take a few weeks, but we promise it'll be worth it. All we're asking is, as an anime reborner, please give us one final chance. So, my reaction to that is, I wish this had happened sooner, especially before the DBZ update. But it's better late than never. I just personally hope the timing doesn't bite them in the ass, because I know new development studios are always making new games with new ideas, and hopefully they can make a comeback here within a proper time frame to not put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. So that's the first post. The second post is from RLX So the same day, just later, I believe. How many hours? Oh no, it was posted at about the same time, I think. I'm not really sure. He basically said this update was originally meant to include leaderboard rewards, new actually optimized lobby, which I kind of wanted to make a separate video on it, but I personally don't really like this new lobby. I feel like it's way too big. I like the old lobby because of how close everything is, and people were able to interact with each other a lot easier because of how close things were. Now everybody feels very spread out. There's not a whole lot of interaction going on, and honestly, it just seems like really performance heavy for no reason. There's a bunch of buildings in the background that are just eating up resources and being demanding on a system when you really don't even see half that stuff. So it's just kind of a pointless, I don't know, I kind of miss the old lobby, if I'm being honest. But anyways, the new point, new tutorial for starter players, starter pack. So those are all great things that really should have been in this update, because I think one of the biggest things that killed this update for a lot of returning players and even new players is the new content that was added completely alienated a lot of the new players. It's way too difficult for anybody starting new or returning to come back and even do. It's even hard for people like me who have been playing the game for a long time and have invested teams. So yeah, that was a big miss, on an update that's supposed to bring people back. They're coming back to basically nothing. So that really hurt. Anyways, new battle pass with actual good units and value, changing teams in-game, quality of life, that would be cool. Tournament of Power map to be included in this update, that would have been nice. Rework of current code, which would allow us to do more creative and unique passive and abilities. Countless bug fixes since New Year's said they would fix but never fixed before releasing. One thing that has not been fixed yet that I really, really would like to see them fix is the Infinity Castle leaderboard, the way they handle the ranking. Basically, if I completed floor 200 today, I would take rank 1, for example. If another player completes floor 200 2 days later, they would steal rank 1 from me. And I always thought that was really messed up. And it still hasn't been fixed. So basically, whoever clears the floor first should keep that ranking. They should take priority if there's a draw. Whoever clears the floor first should hold the rank as priority, not the last person to clear. So bugs like that I'd really like to see fixed, because rankings are kind of a big deal. Leaderboards are a big deal, and there's really good units that come with rewards that are supposed to come with those kind of rankings. And when you have systems like that, you just kind of feel cheated out of the rewards you deserve, right? So the last thing you want to do is make someone's efforts feel wasted in your game. So the next point was fixing lag spikes, increase quality of assets, models, VFX, including sound effects, relics, equipable items, which would have allowed you to add new passive or buffs to characters. That's cool. Higher chance for new players to obtain featured mythic and traits. Multiple units have been voided. Hit, Kefla, and Kale fusion unit, Hisoka, Alumi. Yeah, that sucks. I would have liked to see hit for sure. Balancing ruined for elemental hell game mode, blamed on bad code when it was 100% possible. The list goes on. So they purposefully released a buggy update knowing damn well it was a mess, and we mentioned it to them. We made a bugs report, documents ourselves, as did the testers and Voidless, the user Voidless, and said it would be fixed before release, and then they proceeded to release without our knowledge and fix none of the bugs or map breaches. So, closing, we are currently looking for more developers to expand our team. If you're a developer that is looking for work or looking to be potentially hired long term, shoot me a DM. So that's it for that one. Moving into the last post, and this post actually just came out today, so this is what spurred me to actually make this video. I've been hard on the grind with the new units, so I'm just trying to balance my time with recording and getting these videos out to you guys. But yeah, so this announcement came out just today, a few hours ago, from RLXVII. He says, "Hey guys, I don't really speak much here in the server. I usually do a lot of my work behind the scenes. However, during this entire rebuilding phase of Anime Reborn, I will do my best to communicate with you guys as much as possible and keep you posted with updates and progress with the game. I'm sure you guys know of our recent incident with the previous studio managing the game." So he's referring to DIB Studios. "We have assembled a new dev team of very talented programmers to work on the current code base. In the last 72 hours, since then, they've managed to access the code and already started making improvements, allowing us to make more innovative and fun passives, abilities, mechanics, and game modes." So that's really cool. That's exciting. Good job on the programmers that they brought on board. That's huge. Made a roadmap for the rebuilding phase. That's awesome. Fixing major and minor bugs, including console and mobile. That's amazing, because I know a lot of console players were having some technical issues. I don't exactly know the minor details there, but I know it was some pretty bad ones where they couldn't access certain things. Make improvements to the current game so it's in a more playable state. Added some new QOL quality of life features, including console and mobile. Patched exploits almost instantly, and IP ban every user that has abused it. Dang. So I personally don't know of any exploits. I just play the game the way it is. That's how I am. I don't cheat. I don't like to cheat. I don't even like, advantages. I mean, one can argue macroing could be cheating. Me personally, if macroing wasn't allowed, or if it was a bannable offense, I would not macro. But honestly, the reason why I macro is because I have a full-time job. I have a busy life. And honestly, a macro takes a lot of the grind out of the game for me, which is just a time save at the end of the day. It's not me trying to get a leg up on anyone. It's just a time save, really, because I simply just don't have time to play a video game and treat it like a second full-time job, right? So that's my reasoning for macroing. But if one day they said that macroing is not allowed, I would stop using macros. So anyways, that's really good to see, though. I don't know about these other exploits, but the fact that they're retroactively going back and IP banning users for exploiting these systems, that's really good to see. And that's really healthy for a game, too. All exclusive units will be tradable. That's really cool. There has not been a whole lot added to the trading pool. Trading, I kind of want to make another video on that in its own right, because I feel like without having old events and old units come back into the game, it's really gonna screw up the trading economy, which it kind of already has. Long and short of it is there's some players who just hoard a bunch of high value units and they sit on them and they just create infinite value off those units. They drive out prices to extreme levels where nobody can basically afford it, and no new players can get their hands on these older units, because how can they possibly afford those new units, right? So I might make a whole new video on that, how to bring health back to the trading economy within Anime Reborn. Moving on to the next point, though, minor balance changes, 2x speed fixed. That is a huge one. I could not believe that they added 2x speed to the game. I swear to God, those guys at DIB probably thought we meant we wanted the enemies to move 2 times faster. On God, that's probably what they thought we meant. Like, who the hell thinks that? Like, when people say 2 times speed, of course it's the game speed. Why would we want the enemies to move 2 times faster? We want the game to move we don't want to grind something 13 minutes long. We want to cut that time in half. Like, that right there just kind of shows the competency level of DIB Studios in a nutshell, right? So that kind of made me laugh when that came out, but glad to see that they're fixing that. And then there's much more. This new patch with all fixes plus improvements coming very, very soon. We also got a massive update plan to drop after this rebuilding phase. So they got a lot of work on the table, and it looks like they're going hard, which is awesome. I've had daily calls with the current game manager. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I swear to God, I'm losing my voice or something. It's tough. Let me take a drink here. Alright. I've had daily calls with the current game manager for future and current plans and updates, and building a good updating structure to ensure updates and grinds are more consistent and reasonable. We can finally do what y'all wanted and have been suggesting for a while without any problems or restrictions. I'd also like to give a special thanks to everyone who is still supporting us. This gives us and the dev team the motivation to keep going to create the best game possible. And that's that for that post. So, you know, and I think the reactions, you can see the reactions are huge. Like, of course, there's always going to be some haters, like 294 L's, you know, just fuck them, right? But, you know, there's a lot of W's right there. And that shows that people haven't lost faith in Anime Reborn. Like I was saying in one of my previous videos, a game can be... games these days are like roller coasters, you know? There's never a permanent state unless the game decides to pull the plug. You know, a game can be at the very bottom of the roller coaster, but one amazing update can bring it right back to the top. It just depends who's operating behind the scenes. And now that we got these boys back behind the scenes, and we've got a new dev team and people who seem like they're way more passionate about Anime Reborn, I think this game's going to turn around. I just want to spread the word, because I still see a lot of people in the Discord channel talking trash about, you know, certain decisions that were made with Anime Reborn lately. And I see a lot of people saying, like, reminding people that, hey, you got to remember that these decisions are made by DIB Studios, who are now fired. This game is in the progress of improving and fixing itself. We just got to be patient, give it some time, know that there's a proper team behind it now again. And, you know, things aren't just going to fix itself overnight. It's going to take weeks, possibly maybe months, right? But I believe we're going to get there. So yeah, guys, my voice is killing me, and I've already been... I don't even know how long this video's gone on for now, but... yeah, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. 18 minutes. Yeah, so another yap session. But no, this time I'm not just yapping. I'm just relaying you guys information, because you lazy motherfuckers don't want to go and read it. So, I'm just playing. But, okay, guys, I'm almost done. Just to give you guys an update on, like, the rest of the content that I'm doing in Anime Reborn right now. I've got pretty much all the characters evoed, which I've already uploaded most of their showcases for you guys. I'm literally just on the cusp of getting Goku Instinct. It's been a grind, because I'm trying to get him on all three of my accounts, and trying to get all the other characters evoed has taken a lot of stars, and so that's been a really tough resource to farm, which is kind of holding me back. I know a lot of these other YouTubers are getting like videos on Goku Instinct out and stuff like that, and it's because they're racing to it, right? They're making it their first priority, whereas I try to get everything, right? Like, I'm a completionist in Anime Reborn, so I try to get every single unit, all of them evoed, all of them maxed out leveled, and all of that stuff. So now I'm finally getting around to getting my Goku. I've got a shiny version as well, so that's going to be an awesome video. I definitely want to show him off. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a unique model for his shiny version, but I'm still going to show him off because that shit's dope. And Yeah, I think the last character I need to do is Kefla, which is, or Khalifa, whatever, Khalifa, whatever name they call her in this one. But I think you get her at floor 100 of Infinity Castle. And you guys know that I'm going crazy over Infinity Castle because it's twice now that I've, on all 3 of my counts, that I've gotten to floor 380 plus floors on all 3 of my accounts, and the leaderboards have been reset twice now, and I've not gotten rewards for the Infinite Castle rankings twice. And so this is the 3rd time now. No, not the, yeah, this would be the 3rd time I'm gonna have to run the Infinity Castle up again. I just want to make sure that this time it's not gonna waste my time. I did message RLX Sage about it. He did assure me that things are gonna be fixed. So I do hope I get some kind of compensation for the last 2 runs that I did, because I literally got nothing. And I know that those DIB guys had made an announcement saying that there would be like special units for top ranking players and stuff, and I literally got nothing for getting to floor 380 plus and getting ranking 1, 2, and 3 on the leaderboard twice. So I'm going to run it again for a 3rd time because I know that it's in better hands now, and I know I'm pretty confident that, you know, I'll get the rewards this time around. Hopefully I'll get some retroactive rewards for the last 2 times I ran it as well. But yeah, that's basically it. Just evoing Goku into his Goku Instinct form, and then getting Khalifa, whatever, however the hell you say her name, from Infinity Castle. And I'll make a showcase on both of those individually. Alright guys, stay tuned for more videos to come. Thanks for your support. Every time I'm in game, I'm sorry if I can't address all of you guys. Sometimes I'm in the lobby sitting there with 2 of my accounts. It's because I'm usually playing on my other account. So even though I'm there, I'm not purposely ignoring you. I'm usually doing something else. So sorry if you catch me in a lobby, you say hi or what up. Whenever I'm there and I see it, I try to make an effort to, you know, at least acknowledge you guys. But I'm not always there, so my apologies. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.